Am I living? Oh, what a funny thing to say.
What are you drinking?
Your mama always said,
Green tea and papaya.
I'm rocking the baked apple pie still.
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 It's your fave. Thanks to Purity, of course. Welcome back to another episode of Livin with Vince and Nancy. Hey, Vince. How are ya?
I'm excellent.
You are?
I am excellent.
Are you tremendous?
Tremendous.
Should we start it off?
Let's
tremendous.
Yeah, why end the
week
episode?
that was.
Why end the episode with it? Let's start the episode with it. If you've been playing along at home for the last couple of weeks, you will know that we've introduced a new segment to the show, Tremendous or Horrendous, where we pick a couple of things from the week and just sort of give it a bit of a ranking. Tremendous, Nance.
Yeah.
Tremendous. I feel like I'm living in a very good, empowered energy this week. There's been a huge amount of shifts going on around me and some of the things that I do in my day-to-day, as you know. And some of the wonderful people I get to work with have just been making some wonderful strides. So I feel like I'm on fire a little bit this week, to be honest, like a really nice, vibrant, high energy.
Look at you.
Yeah,
Good work.
kicking goals tremendously.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Up until now, I think all of mine have been horrendous, and mine starts off horrendous, right? But I like to turn the tremendous spin on it.
Please.
All right. So just recently, my mama went in for a procedure, a heart operation.
Yes.
Right. And so when she's come out of the heart operation, that's all gone really fantastic. But then she hasn't come good as quickly as she should have.
Yeah.
So then she's been informed that she's had a very, very, very minor stroke. Okay, and I know that sounds horrendous, but the reason I'm putting a spin on it is because Mama lost quite a bit of feeling and movement down the left side of her body. The tremendous part of this is it will be fixed and sorted within about a month of getting some exercise and stuff done and some movement happening. She'll get her strength back. So what could have been horrendous has turned tremendous.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Yep.
I feel like you've just taken me on a very small but intense roller coaster of emotions. Send our love to Nonna Vic, please.
I know. Happy ending.
Happy ending.
Happy ending.
Oh, well, I'm glad that we're in the tremendous space this week because, you know, we've been in a lot of different spaces, you and me.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds a lot stranger than it's meant to. We've been in a lot of different spaces in industry, in our careers. We've spoken a lot about the people we've interacted with across our careers thus far. But have you ever felt like, Nance, you missed your calling? And I say that not as in to say this isn't what you should be doing. Yeah. But like, have you ever had the feeling like you could have, the what could have beens, the maybe I should have been a cop in another life, or I could have been a lawyer in another life, or a vet?
Well, I haven't had the feeling myself that I go to bed and go, oh, wow, maybe I should have. I've never had that feeling. But I get told several times in my life, and you've already said it, it's a cop or an investigator. And I think it stems back to when I was a retail manager and I had a lot of staff under me and they couldn't get away with shit.
You are a sleuth, and I can... how can I say? Yeah, no, I can attest to your investigative skills.
So it's not even. I mean, it wasn't that hard. I'm not going to lie.
But you have a knack to find. Good. You just have this amazing knack, which is probably like separate to your retail story. Yeah. But like you do have a knack of finding out or knowing things. Yeah. Incredibly quickly. Like, I'm amazed. There are sometimes we'll have a chat and we'll be like, oh, do we know about this? Or we heard about that? And then straight away you'll be like, oh no. And you'll come back with the data. Yeah. Deliver.
Yeah, so there was many times when I was managing that, say the staff would say, oh, when you left, it was dead. It was just nobody came in. We made no money. And then I'd just go and I'd click the counter because we had the counter that would count the amount of people. Counter? No, the amount of people that would walk in the store.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, oh, really? But you had 400 people between 3 and 4 o'clock. And they're like, oh. Really? And then I'd just go to the video camera and I'd rewind and I'm like, see when you're standing behind the counter and that whole busload of people walked in and you didn't acknowledge that?
You didn't even turn around, didn't even look up.
Do you think maybe we could have just worked on that a little bit?
I love it.
Do you know, actually, another cop story. Have I told you about the time that I caught a thief?
What?
Like caught a thief. Didn't I tell you? Come on.
Never. Come on.
a lot of-
Come on. No. Let me strap in.
Strap you in.
I
I
wanna
did
know.
all the things I wasn't meant to do, so I'm not going to tell you the company that I was working for because this was not in our policies and procedures. But I was at the counter and I was serving. And I was serving a customer and the little store alarm's gone off. Like, you know, that's got the security tags.
Yeah.
So someone's like taken something off the front table and exited. So I'm serving and I'm leant over and I've gone, oh, someone's run off for something from that front table. So I've gone, sorry to my customer that I'm serving. Someone else of the staff has jumped on and served them and I'm on it. I'm down Rundle Mall.
I love that.
They have gone down Rundle Mall. They've zipped into the store next door, gone up the escalators, and I think it used to be like Globalised or something like that above us. So they've gone in and I'm just on a mission. I'm on a mission and I'm like, give it back. So they've gone into the change rooms. So what I've done is I've hinged myself up on, this is my gym days when and I've picked myself up on the table off the table.
And I know that you can do that. I've got a photo of you doing that.
Actually,
Separate story. But
I've hinged myself over the change room door and I'm like, give it back. And I think I even said, bitch. I said bitch. I did. I think I did. So she's opened the door and Nancy's like connected to the door and going, and I've dropped. And I'm like, now I'm really angry.
Now I'm pissed.
Now I don't only want my item of clothing back, I want your head.
Oh my God, I love this.
So she's gone down the escalator. And the thing is as well, I thought shivers, like, plan ahead, Nance. If she turns around and swings at me, so I kept like a metre between us. And I was like, wow. And she turns and swings, I'm safe, I'm good. So I've just walking down the mall and I've gone, give it back. And then I've gone, and you loser. She was actually wearing a jacket from another store that still had the security tag on it. So she'd already been somewhere else. And
She's
stolen.
on a
She's
what's it
a
called?
profesh,
A
that one.
profesh. She's having a field day.
Yeah. So I've just gone, oh, and you idiot. And I've gone,
This is a beautiful colour on you, can I just say? It's a beautiful colour.
So wait. So she's gone down the mall. So then she's gone to the bus stop on Grenfell Street. No, what is it? Pulteney Street. She's gotten on a bus. And I'm like, oh, I'm furious. I'm on the bus.
You are joking me.
I got on the bus.
Keanu Reevesing on the
and
bus
I said
here.
to the driver, you've got a thief on the bus. I said, and he's gone, huh? So he doesn't care. So she's gotten on the bus, realised I've gotten on the bus. So the bus has taken off. The bus has stopped at one stop. She's gotten off the bus. I've gotten off the bus. So as I'm like, nah, I'm on the hunt.
Yes, this is wild.
So in the meantime, I'm on the phone with the cops the whole time. Okay, now I'm just, passing the mole's balls. Now I'm this, now I'm that. And then that. So they're like, gotcha.
Live tracking, live updates.
Yeah. Gotcha. So anyway, by now I'm getting a bit tired. Like maybe I'm not that fit after all.
You're the best. Yeah.
So what's happened is she's actually dropped her handbag.
Like a shimmer.
So when she got off the bus, she's like, fluffed around. She's dropped her handbag. And then I picked up the handbag and I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm done. I got your handbag. I'm going back to work. I'll suss it out from here. So I've gone back to work, gone through, found her license.
Catch a bus back to work or what?
It was just one stop.
Okay, fair enough.
So I've walked back in and, called the police. They've come into the store. They've watched the CCTV. They've got her ID. And, later that afternoon, the customer that I was serving at the time that I just dumped, he just came back in the store and just said, can I just tell you that I have never seen anyone move so quickly in all my life. And I'm like, sorry. And he goes, I will never, ever steal from you. And I'm like, you know it. Don't steal from me. So maybe I should have been a cop.
Nance, that is the wildest story.
Yeah, it's a fact.
That's the best. Oh my gosh. I would pay good money to any of those other stores for their CC footage of you run. When you see the footage on made up from many different cameras, I would love to see that. I want to see this end to end because that's wild.
Yeah, it was pretty. Can I just say, and you're going to think, is she for real? I've actually got one. That was a few years ago, that story, quite a few years ago. I've got one of this week that's just gone, like 2 days ago.
Okay, go. Nah, for real.
I've done school drop off.
Yeah.
And I'm driving to work.
Yeah.
And about 2 cars in front, one's a little bit further ahead. This car's done a U-turn and gone up onto the curb and rammed into the bins that were out in front of this house, like slammed into the bins. And I'm like, whoa, that's a car accident, right? Something's happened. So I've gone, then I'm like, hang on a minute. They've reversed, and they've reversed back and then snaked down the road. And I'm
No, they're
like,
cooked.
wow. This
Cool.
is a bit scary. There was a little white car in front of me and you could see this little elderly couple and you can almost tell from being behind it that they were a bit shaken up. So I was like, just relax, Nance. Oh, well, it is what it is. So then I'm just going quite slowly behind this little white car and I'm like, no, I'm not happy. It's still in my brain. Indicated, overtaken.
Overtaken?
Overtaken.
It's
That's
all right.
the one.
I couldn't think of
Overtaken.
words earlier.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad.
I've overtaken the white car and I'm like, sorry, little old couple, forgive me. I felt like I put my siren on. That's how I feel. Like there's something that clicks in my brain. And I'm
Love
like,
it.
right, here we go.
Yeah.
There's no other cars on the road. So I have rung 000 and I'm like, police, fire, ambulance. Police, what state are you in? South Australia. Where are you? Okay, here I am. So this is what's happening. And I said, I'm driving the speed limit. Not. I wasn't. Right? Because I'm like,
Vigilantes.
what's happened is this is what's just happened. I'm just worried that the people driving this car are under the influence. They're going to cause an accident and kill somebody.
Yeah.
Right? So they're like, where are they now? And I said, look, I'm doing the speed limit, even though I wasn't, right? But I said, they are nowhere in sight. And I'm like, look, I think they've turned down Trimmer Parade.
Yeah.
And they're like, right. And I'm giving them all the landmarks that I can
Yeah,
as I'm
yeah,
driving.
yeah.
And then I've gone, wait, they've pulled over. I said, they've pulled over. And I've given them the description of the car. And up until then, I didn't have the rego. Then I'm like, right, I've got the rego. And I've yelled it out, SS429, whatever it is. Blah, blah, blah. So what's happened is the lady that was in the car, the passenger, she's jumped out and there was a dog in the car as well. And they're up against the fence of the Grange Golf Course. They're up against the fence. And there was this man just yelling and yelling and yelling. And I'm thinking so many things. Is this domestic violence?
Yeah.
Is it drugs? Is it alcohol? I don't know. But wow. So now I've sit on the phone with the police. I've told them, okay, I found them. Here they are. Given them the landmark. They're, as close to this corner street as you can find. They're like, right, I know exactly where you are. Good. I'm just like, is that all? Because I need to get to work. And they're like, no, you've done amazing. I'm like, cool, thank you. So I've gotten to work and I'm a bit shaken up and I'm telling the girls at work, girls, you'll never believe what's just happened on my drive to work. And they're like, are you serious? But do you know the bad thing about this? I thought I did a good deed, right?
Yeah.
I thought I did a good deed and I think I did. But anyway, 37 minutes later, I've had a call from a private number, which I don't normally answer, but for some reason that day I answered it. They're like, oh, hi, Nancy, it's Senior Constable, blah, blah, blah. Just ringing to see where exactly did you see that car? And I'm like, I'm sorry, are you just getting there? That's what I said to them. And he's like, yeah, we're just getting here now. And I'm like, look, I can't really remember. I told the lady on the phone, the rego, the landmarks, the street. And he's like, oh, okay. And he goes, oh, that's right. Yes. Oh, so you did give the rego. Yes, I have got it here. And I'm like, 37 minutes later, they could have done some serious damage in that time. So I did my bit and for the community. But I feel like, I don't know.
Feel a little bit let down.
I feel a little bit let down. Like I
there's-
should have had the cop gear on that day. I would have done a citizen's arrest.
A citizen's arrest. I love it. Are people still allowed to do those?
I don't know.
I'm going to ask. I've got some family members in the police force. And it's funny. I always wanted to be a cop as a kid. Like
I didn't.
It was just one of those things that I really enjoyed. Playing cops and robbers. I like being a cop. I like justice, Nance, and I still do. I like moral rights and I like justice. But when my sister became a cop, isn't that funny? I hesitated because I'm like, can I say that?
You said family member. Now all of a sudden you're like, yeah, sister.
Well, no.
Next minute you're going to say.
Okay, well, that's true. When my family member,
Yes.
insert family member here, became a police officer, it was like, I would have been maybe 5 or 6 years old. And I remember being like, well, I can't be a cop now.
Oh,
Because you can only have one per household. One per family, right?
That's what you thought.
That's what I thought.
Oh,
I was
that's
like a little
cute.
5-year-old. And it's funny. And I did actually fill out the application form. Would have been the end of year 12. And I put it in my drawer. And I kept the envelope sealed, ready to postage stamp on it. Just never sent it. It stayed in my drawer for 2 years. And my sister always used to say to me, and still she does. She's like, you would have made a great cop. You've just got a good balanced sort of point of view, perspective. You're empathetic. You can understand people. Do you know what I mean? But I really do take my hat off to a lot of police officers.
Oh my gosh.
Just the stuff they have to put up with and the things they do is unreal on
You're
the day
giving
to
off
day.
police vibes today.
With my
In
vest?
that navy vest.
Do you
I'm
like
just,
that?
Yeah, I'm just there.
I was going to wear the jumper, but I thought, I've done a lot of jumpers on the show so far. I was
that's-
actually going to wear a flannel not too dissimilar to what you're wearing, so I'm glad
We
I
look
did
like
it.
hoodlums today. You've
little-
got your puffer vest.
You're
I've got my
right.
flanny shirt.
I like it. You're wearing Ugg boots?
No.
No ugly boots or bed socks today. All right, so you maybe could have been a cop. And I think, hey, look, those two examples, they're unreal. Good on you for doing that.
But I don't think that about myself. I've just been told that several times.
But look at the stories you just told. Like, there's something inside of you that was like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Like, you hunted that. You got on a bus for that woman.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's unreal.
But when I think about it, that was pretty damn dangerous.
Okay, so I've done something similar at Mum and Dad's house when I used to live there. I remember I would have been like 18, 19, sitting on the couch one night on like a Friday night, and our lounge room, like, you sort of like, if you turn your head to the right, you can see the front door like through the window. And I remember like sitting there and the sensor light came on, and like the front door at Mum and Dad's house is upstairs. Like, you're on the second level for the front door. And the sensor light came on. I remember just turning and seeing like a guy in a hood.
Oh my gosh.
Like completely over his face. And he goes like this, puts his arms up. And as he does that, I get up and he just boom, boom, like bangs on the door. Like banged on the door. So as he did that, and I was only, I remember like getting up, opening the big door. And as he did it, and as I opened the door, I was like, oi! And he ran down the stairs. So I was in pajama pants and barefoot.
How old were you?
Like 19. I reckon I must have been 18,
Why were
19.
they banging on the door but then ran?
I don't know. So who knows? Who knows why people do these stupid things, man? I don't know. I'm not a criminal.
Yeah.
So I chased them. I chased this bloke. But as I ran, so as I'm chasing him barefoot, I'm running down the street, 'cause our streets are dead. It was a dead end. We go like up around another road that goes up a hill, like down a creek. As I come around the corner, he's like screaming, go, go. And these like two other guys like run ahead of him, and they're running in the dark up the hill, and I'm just chasing him, screaming like, come back here, like all jacked up. At this point, I was probably still attending the gym and having pre-workout, to be fair, at 19. Let's be very honest about that.
Oh my
so I would have been like, rah, but I just remember like running, and then like getting, like they ran down into the creek, because there's a creek up near the hill, there's a conservation park there. And I remember like they like ran down into the creek, and I like stopped, and I remember being like Jason Bourne, like trying to become an animal in the dark. I'm in pajama pants, barefoot. I've got sensitive. I was going to say lady feet. I can't walk barefoot on the roads, on like rocks. Like, I hate it.
But when the adrenaline hits.
Nance, I was running on bitumen and I'm up there barefoot, and I'm like, come out. I can see you.
Wow,
like,
isn't
come.
it crazy?
And like, I run back down, like, so nothing happens. I just can't, nothing happens for like 5-10 minutes. So I run back home. And I remember getting home, and Dad's on the landing. He's like, what's going on? Where'd you go? And I was like, call the cops. I don't know. And he was like, you shouldn't have done that. It was like pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, you know, who
Well,
knows?
it is.
100%. And I remember like rang my sister and told her, and she was like, good on you, but also
Never do it again in your life.
And like, it's funny, I've come home working late when I used to work in clubs and stuff. I remember coming home one night, and as I turned into the street, everybody knew everyone in the street.
Yeah.
It was all the original like homeowners and families. It was lovely growing up there. It was like neighbours, like Ramsey Street. Not even a joke. That's a different episode. But coming around, I remember my neighbour's car was completely open, like doors, boot, everything. And I was like, that's strange. So I parked my car, went over, and could see like, oh, yeah, no, this is not right. So I like went inside, told Dad, went across the road, knocked on their door. In the time of me going inside to tell Dad, broke into the other neighbour's car as well.
Oh my gosh.
And they were like, must have just been hiding when I went over to look at the
my
car the
God.
first time. And I just remember it was like 3 a.m. or something, and yeah, banging on the neighbour's door and being like, oh, I think, you know, Matt's car's been broken into. The dad was like, oh, you're peeking. And then like, oh shit, that one's been broken into next door as well. Could have been a cop. Could have been a cop.
Speaking of citizen arrests though,
Yeah.
tell you a funny one about my brother-in-law's mum. She caught a intruder in her backyard.
I know, I can't deal with that. I
Right?
feel yuck about that.
Yeah,
like, because
so
it's
it
your
was during the
space.
day. It was during the day.
It's even worse.
So this, you know, old lady, she's, you know, not that old back then, but anyway, she's gone out. She's gone, oi, what do you do here? Right? So he's like, I don't know what he's done. So you know what she did? Bless her. She went like this. She went, you wait here. I'll call the police. So she went inside. Do you reckon he waited?
No.
Her intention was good.
Bless.
But
That's
she
the
put it
power.
out there. You wait here.
That's
I'll
the
call the police.
The power that a nonna wields.
I know.
Or at
I
least
know.
they think they wield. Even to
Bless
the
her.
point of telling a criminal, you're going to stay here. You're not going to move. Because that wooden spoon is coming out.
Yeah. Oh dear. Oh well.
I
so
love it. Well, how fun is that? We started with like, did you miss your calling? We sort of landed and just sort of sat with being a police officer or citizen's
Yeah.
arrest. But God, you've got some good ones there.
Yeah.
I reckon I could have been a lawyer.
yeah. Why?
Because I can argue my way out of a fucking envelope, I reckon, Nance. I reckon Mum always said that. She's like, you always answer questions with a question. God, you just always. But I'm not arguing. I just like facts, and I like when things are clear.
Yeah.
I could go. I'm not going to go into a story on this episode. It's too long.
Too long.
About crazy neighbours. We should do an episode.
Okay,
on
we'll
crazy
do. Oh
neighbours.
yeah. We can do that. I've had a few. Yep.
Oh yeah, no, I've had a few.
So a lawyer,
a copper.
I'm not sure what I've ever thought.
I wanted to be, and I'm sure everybody who is around my age wanted to be a marine biologist because of Free Willy. Okay. Everybody who saw that movie, I'm sure as a kid was like, I'm gonna go hang out with whales and dolphins.
Okay, maybe.
You know, but a marine biologist was one.
I think if I probably had a choice, the only thing I probably ever wanted to be was like not a naturopath or a herbalist or something a little bit like holistic-y,
I can see you doing that.
remedy type of thingy like that. But there's nothing else apart from sort of entertainer that I kind of come home and went, I really miss my calling.
Totally agree. And that's how I feel now. There's a period, I think, probably like those later teenage years where it became like confusing about like, what am I going to do with my life?
Yeah.
Like, you know how we talked about real jobs early on in the season. Yeah. Real jobs, and I have to go to uni because I can't just be an entertainer. Like, and that becomes very confusing, I think, for a person. Yeah. And I remember then, but like when you get through that, the only thing that kept calling me back is always entertaining or performing. Yes. And the ability to put all of my skills into that is now when I'm like, there's nothing else that was ever meant to be. Yeah.
And maybe the other one that, they say, leading up to, you hit your 30s or your mid-30s and everyone's going like, you're having kids.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I wasn't there, and I had many girlfriends say, you'll know. And I'm thinking, what are they talking about? Let me tell you, I think, 37, it was just like I woke up and was like, I want a baby, and I want a baby now. Yeah. And it just happened, and then definitely know I was meant to be a mum. Yeah. 100%.
Isn't that funny? Like, the way that you enter into something and all of a sudden you know it. Yep. Like inherently.
Yep, that's right.
I love that. That's so lovely. Guys, did you miss your calling?
I don't know. What were you meant to be?
What were you meant to be?
Or are you exactly where you are supposed to be?
Just keep living.
Am I living? Oh, what a funny thing to say. But your mama always said, look up into the sky, find the sun on a cloudy day, on a cloudy day. Your mama always said, look up into the sky, find the sun on a cloudy day, on a cloudy day. Your mama always said, look up into the sky.
That was too much.